in the breakout room. So, welcome, and we love being here for you with quality and value to inspire and to transform. Remember, we are on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and iTunes. Today, as usual, we have a special guest to share with you for your development and growth and to live your better informed life. So, grab a cup, pull up a seat, and stay tuned for the introduction. Right here, now, live in the breakout room. It's the place for health, happiness, and prosperity. Stay tuned. Our next guest in the breakout room, Barry Gabster. He's the founder and CEO of Initiate You. He's also a renowned networker and philanthropist. Initiate You is an integrated marketing agency that provides multi-channel marketing programs tailored to your business objectives. Their services include direct mail, digital marketing, and design and development. The Daily Scanner says, meet the man leading the mailer marketing revival, Barry Gapster. They will strategize and create, initiate you. They will deliver results exceeding your expectations. Barry Gapster and Initiate You is shortlisted for the Inc. 5000. And he's supported by Andy and Echo. Initiate You has worked with up to 82 clients per month, mailing over 2 million mailers in 1 month, skyrocketing their sales from 800 grand to 8.5 million in gross sales in just 1 year. They are more than just your agency. They are your partner. So, whether Barry is hanging out with his wife Lindsay or working with Big Brothers Big Sisters program or just hanging out by himself, maybe you saw him on Thrive Loud or still working at Initiate You. So, let's welcome to the breakout room this philanthropic guest. Live on Andy's personal development, the man, Barry Gapster. And
Hey
we are
there.
live. We are live and well in the breakout room, and Barry Gapster is here with us. Thank you for coming on, Barry. How are you doing today,
Absolutely.
sir?
Real good, real good. Thank you for having me. That was quite the warm up. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you inspired that, my friend.
Well,
Hats off
thank
to
you.
you and to your accomplishments.
Thanks so much.
You're
Appreciate that.
welcome. You're welcome. So, Barry, tell us a little bit about who Barry Gapster is. Just introduce yourself to our people.
So my name is Barry Gabster. I live here in Carlsbad, California.
Mm-hmm.
I've got businesses in Orange County. And of course, I work, like I said, in Carlsbad. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up as a SoCal, Southern California resident my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy traveling. My wife and I have been to over 30 different countries in our life.
Wow.
Obviously, I enjoy marketing,
Uh-huh.
so that's kind of the rundown of who I am. I did grow up acting as a child, and I think that kind of helped catapult my career of networking and building relationships with people and getting me to kind of where I'm at today.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for sharing, Barry. It says that you started your professional calling in the mortgage industry in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Share a little bit of that with us, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2003 was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people probably remember it. The mortgage refinance boom was going crazy, and
Uh-huh.
I got my started in second mortgages, selling home equity lines of credit, and I did it for a good solid about 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, after a while, I just, of course, we had the 2008 fallout of the mortgage crisis, as I'm sure everybody remembers.
Right.
And at that point, that's when I started kind of segueing out of it, and took a career with
Mm-hmm.
Costco wholesale, doing marketing for them
Mm-hmm.
when they were just starting out their business delivery services. And
Okay.
so they needed somebody who could help teach people sales, and people who were already employed with Costco. And so that's kind of how I made a fit into the marketing role there. And then after that, I started working with another couple friends of mine who had started an advertising agency, and they helped groom me and mentor me to really learn the direct mail space and just the advertising space, right? And so that's kind of the short story, And then, of course, about what was it, January 2018. This is when I launched Initiate You, and everything has been kind of building and developing since there. I've got a lot of different friends and different networks, and built up a lot of referral business and word of
Mm-hmm.
mouth referrals that have come to me. So
Okay.
it's been quite the ride.
Great. You were also with Lending Tree for a while.
Yes.
How was
Yep.
that?
Well, Lending Tree is great. A lot of great relationships were built at Lending Tree. Their slogan is "When banks compete, you win." Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I actually worked with them as a loan officer in their equity department doing second mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, at one point there, they hired me to be a sales coach there. So I was actually training the bottom 20% of sales teams and helping develop their skills, and get them better at selling loans and getting their leads to convert.
Great. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing, Barry. How
Yeah.
did you develop this penchant and this desire for the mail marketing skills that took you to this place of success? When was it first revealed to you, and what was the attraction of this skill that you now have?
Well, so that's a good question, because as Lending Tree is a company where you can go online and you can submit
Mm-hmm.
your information,
Yeah.
and you get 3 multiple offers, right? And so
Right.
they call that that was digital marketing back in that era, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
were kind of at the forefront of it, aggregating people's information, and then you would have to call out to that lead, right?
Right.
Well, what
Right.
I found is that it was very hard to get these individuals on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
you know Sometimes the lead would not come over very quickly. It would show up 20 minutes late, 30 minutes after they input their information. And so it became quite tiresome having to continually dial and try to contact these people. And when
Okay.
you try to contact them, you might catch them when they're driving, right? And they're not in a
Mm-hmm.
position to have a
Yeah.
20 or 30
Yeah.
minute conversation. And
Right.
so they're usually rushed. And I didn't really like that because, I never got to convey everything that I needed to, or really convert and have a good conversation with them.
Right.
So the opposite side of that is with direct mail. We're sending out advertisements that are being delivered to their mailbox, right? I mean,
Okay.
you've got a mailbox. We all have mailboxes, right?
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
old school. It's very old school. But I mean, let's be honest. We all like walking to our mailbox and seeing what we're getting. It's almost like Christmas, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
anyhow, the whole reason why I enjoyed it so much is simply because when that individual gets that advertisement in their mailbox, they come in the
Mm-hmm.
house. You go through your different mail, and you get rid of what you don't want to review, and then of course you keep what you do want to take a look at and open up and review.
Right.
And then when you get around to it, when you've got that 20 or 30 minutes, however long it may take, you go ahead and you pick the phone up and you make a phone call, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so from the sales side, now I've got somebody who's set aside 20 to 30 minutes to have a conversation with me, and they're ready to talk. They're not on the off ramp,
Yeah. Yes.
driving on their
Yeah.
in their car, rushed. They're
Yes.
ready to have that 20, 30-minute conversation with me. And that's what I really drew me to direct mail. I just found that the conversations were better. It was easier to connect with the potential person that I'm selling,
Mm-hmm.
and then build rapport, right? Because it's very important in sales to connect with the person on the other end of the phone,
Yep.
or
That's right.
face to
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
And so I found with direct mail, it was a lot easier to build that rapport, build a friendship with this potential client, And then from there, it seemingly became easier to convert these leads.
Excellent.
The conversion on the direct
Uh-huh.
mail tends to be a little bit better, actually a lot
Uh-huh.
bit better, maybe
Yeah.
double, triple what it is on the other internet type of
Okay.
leads.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Barry. Now, in looking at your information, it says that you were VP of Sales and Marketing for Tech Scrubs. Is that still a
Right.
position you hold?
No, actually, tech scrubs is no longer. They're still around.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not a position that I'm holding any longer.
Okay.
The
Okay.
my advertising agency has really taken off to a whole nother level, and it's just I don't have as much time to be
Mm-hmm.
affiliated with them. But it was a great opportunity. It was actually my chiropractor, Dr. Todd Grecian, who developed these scrubs, and
Yeah.
they're great scrubs.
Okay. Okay.
Hats off to them.
Great. Wonderful. So, Barry, I'm going to ask you maybe one of the most important questions of this conversation. What it is that you did that was so revolutionary that you created this great upsurge in sales for Initiate You, moving from what, 8.5, 800,000 to 8.5 million in gross sales in just 1 year? That's phenomenal. How did
Yeah.
you do it? How did you accomplish that?
Yeah, I would say it was a combination of a few things. I mean, the number one thing is just timing, right?
Yeah.
They say opportunity, you have to be ready for when that opportunity comes to you, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, we had our advertising agency and we were, getting, we had a good customer base, and we were, a lot of our customers, again, were friends of mine through my mortgage career.
Right.
And so when, I'd separated from my previous, advertising agency and kind of went off
Hmm.
on my own.
Hmm.
Uh, I seemingly got more clients that wanted to work with me, right? And
Okay.
so, once I had successfully achieved, working with them and making sure that they had a successful campaign, word pretty much started spreading like wildfire. My
Right.
name was getting thrown around in a bunch of different circles, and then people continue to contact me. I
Hmm.
got to be honest with you, it wasn't easy by any
Okay.
means.
Okay.
There's only three of us trying to maintain a customer service level that is part of our core values, ensuring that we give our clients that white glove type of concierge service, right? Where
Okay.
we're kind
Right.
of
Right.
hand holding them through
Hmm.
spending their marketing dollars and ensuring that they have some type of success. So I
Okay.
think that's kind of the other part of it, is that you know uh, we're very hands on. We're almost like a business partner or a fractional CMO, but they're not
Okay.
having to put me on their payroll, right? I want to ensure that my clients
Yes.
are
Yes.
successful,
Yes.
because
Yes.
obviously they're the best advertising that I could get as a referral.
Excellent. Excellent. Great stuff. Thanks for sharing, Barry. Tell me a bit about the engagement with the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. How is that
Sure.
like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, I think, is a wonderful organization. I mean, what
Hmm.
they do for the youth is really great. My wife and I, we made a conscious decision that we're not going to have children. And I felt there was something that was missing in my life.
Okay.
So I reached out to the Big Brothers Big Sisters, just because, like everybody, I think we like to teach the lessons to the youth, right? We want to see them grow. And I'm a kid at heart, even though I
Yeah.
may be
Yeah.
43,
All
I
right.
still like to go miniature golfing or go
There
to
you go. There you go.
baseball, games
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity for me to help out the youth of today,
Hmm.
and volunteer my time with them and kind of show them some of the things that I learned growing up. So that's what I did. I went ahead, got involved with them, filled out the application, went through multiple interviews, and
Hmm.
went ahead and got myself what we call a little.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
the big, right? So I
Okay.
got myself a little, and we started working together and hanging out about 4 times a month,
Hmm.
and it was just a great experience. I really enjoyed that organization.
Okay. Great. What's your big why, Barry? What it is that
Big
makes you
why.
get up in the morning, keeps you going through the day, and makes you feel satisfied at night
Yeah.
that you have accomplished what you were supposed to do? What's your big why?
I think at the end of the day, I'm a people person, right?
All right. Yeah.
I like to serve people, and really I like to win. There's
Hmm.
nothing more gratifying than being able to serve somebody and follow through on what type of expectations you put
Right.
together for them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it comes with a lot of responsibility. As you had mentioned earlier, I think at one point I had 86 people that I was serving.
Okay.
Right. And so their success lies on my shoulders.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
It's
It
a lot of
is.
weight, but at the
Yeah.
same rate, it's very rewarding when you know that everybody's happy and everybody's, continually coming to you, and that you're continually getting referrals from these individuals.
Okay. Great. Thanks for sharing, Barry.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
did how did the pandemic affect your operations? Were there any major or minor adjustments that you guys had to make, changes that would make you be more productive, more suitable to the environment? Because everything now is just a new norm. What was it
Yeah.
like for you guys?
Yeah, no, it's so to that point, one of the things that I've always wanted and was a dream for me
Hmm.
was developing a business that I could manage and operate from a beach, right? Or
Okay.
another
All right.
country.
I
Like I
hear
said
you.
before, my wife and I love to travel. So, one thing for me was if I've got a laptop and a cell phone, I should be able to run my business. So, I started the business with that mindset. So when the pandemic came, it really wasn't a big adjustment for us, quite
Okay.
frankly.
Okay.
It
Right.
was it was something that was already a norm. We were used to working from home or on the road, and
Hmm.
so we were okay through the pandemic. Of course, we felt very bad that it was going on, and of course, I ended up getting sick. Everybody ended up getting sick, didn't they?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, indeed,
so
indeed. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Great. So tell us, Barry, in terms of the information that you have put out here and the people that you are looking to serve, what do you see the future is like for Initiate You? Are there any more great grandeur plans that you have, more market space that you intend to conquer, stuff like that?
Yeah, good question. I really see the future for Initiate You. We obviously we have mastered the direct mail side of marketing.
Hmm.
I see us being more of a full service advertising agency,
Right, right.
serving not only the mortgage, loan officers, but also
Hmm.
serving realtors.
Yeah.
And I really like to see us as the premier mortgage and real estate advertising agency. That's really what I'd like to see. And with that comes home service. I believe that there's a good opportunity for me to link up with the solar community,
Yeah.
solar as well as roofing,
Hmm.
HVAC services. I think
Right.
those are also some industries that would be well suited with Initiate You,
Hmm.
and I see that in our future. In addition to, I just recently partnered up with another digital marketing and digital advertising agency.
Right.
And so we partnered up with him because he's very good at what he does.
Okay.
I'm very good at what I do. So
Hmm.
it was time to go ahead and bridge that gap and bring on that digital side of my advertising agency. So
Right.
very,
Right.
very excited to work with William and his team. And so that's been one of the biggest steps that we've made recently, and there'll be for other steps that we're taking on. I mean, I see myself potentially working with PR companies and having them
Uh-huh.
involved with my team and with my clients.
Okay. Great. We have been taught in business management that I believe this is more like a new attitude. We should not focus on the competition. We could simply focus on being relevant.
Mhm.
And as you spoke about that amalgamation, I'm thinking, do you have any direct competition in the line of business that you're doing? And if so, what challenges does it pose for you and Initiate You going forward?
Well, that's a great question. So absolutely. Of course, I have competition, right? We all have competition,
Yes,
right?
we do. We do. We do.
So I think the way that I separate myself from my competition is pretty simple. Kind of
Hmm.
going back to that white glove service,
Yeah.
just always being available for my clients. Being
Okay.
one call away. As much as my wife doesn't like it that I pick the phone up after 6 p.m.,
Uh huh.
that's sometimes what I have to do, right,
All right.
to make my clients comfortable. So, that's definitely how I separate myself from my clients. The other part of it too is look at hands down, when you hire my agency, you are going to pay a little bit of a premium because
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be getting that type of service, that handheld
Okay.
experience, right?
Okay.
My competition would, it is when somebody goes directly to a print house, right? And
Okay.
they want to do everything themselves, right? Of
Yep.
course, that they'll be able to do it for cheaper. But what
Mm-hmm.
I found is that business owners don't want to have to deal with going out, finding a print shop to print the mail, finding a data provider to provide them a list, finding a graphic designer to develop a mail creative,
Yeah. Yeah.
so on and so forth. So,
Yeah.
we do that with one phone call, right? We get all that put together on one phone call, and we make that business owner's life a lot easier. And
Okay.
that's really what it's come down to, and really how we've been able to separate ourselves from the rest of the other advertising agencies out there.
Yeah. Great. That sounds good, Barry. We're just approaching about halftime in the episode, but I just want to ask you one question before we go to that ad break. If you had one thing that you could describe in terms of your success and your life and the lessons that you would have learned along the way, what would stand out for you the most?
I would say that my I call it jumping on the grenade, right? Because
Wow.
sometimes there's always a fire,
Uh
right?
huh.
There's something always, some things go wrong,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what you do, how in control of it you are, or how long you've been doing it, there's always something that may happen. I
Okay.
think the one thing that has separated myself and kind of, that I would say is the one thing would be the fact that I'm quick to get on the phone with my clients and overcome whatever obstacle is now in our way, right? Because again, my clients and we're partners in this together. If they're not
Right.
making
Right.
money, then I'm
Mm-hmm.
not making money, right?
Okay.
If we're
Yeah.
losing money, then more than likely we're going to lose money together, right?
Okay.
So that is definitely the one thing. The other part of it too is that I feel that I'm very easy to talk to. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think clients enjoy talking to somebody that they know, like, and trust. And I believe that I'm that for them, right?
Okay.
So
Okay. Great. Thanks for sharing.
of
I
course.
sense a lot of passion and emotion in your voice. That's really refreshing, Barry. Thanks a lot. So,
Yeah, yeah.
folks, you've been listening to Barry Gabster, the founder and CEO of Initiate You, revolutionizing the advertising and the mail marketing game. We will go for a quick break. We will be right back. Please don't go anywhere. FindRadioGuest.com, the place to click to find guests to interview for free. And if you're a radio show booker, podcaster, talk show host, or television producer, then this is the place to get podcasts and radio interviews or promote your books and products as a guest expert sponsor. FindRadioGuest.com. Check it out. Hi, people. This is a special invitation for you to join our community. Yes, we're inviting you to join our community for 2022. What's in store? Well, what we want is your feedback on our content and our guests, but more so on what you need to be inspired and transformed from your current condition to one of happiness, health, and prosperity. So drop us a line and reach out. Help us to better help you achieve your goals. So, people, inbox me at www.facebook.com/mddreamer/. That's www.facebook.com/mddreamer/. Or send me an email at lovebitsa@gmail.com. That's lovebitsa@gmail.com. We love hearing from you as we build our partnership in growth and development, and we look forward to your communicating. Help us to help you to live a better life in personal growth and development from Andy's Personal Development. We love you. We look forward to hearing from you. See you soon. Bye for now. Yeah, and we are back with Barry Gapster live in the breakout room. And he's been sharing some really wonderful information about his life, his business, and his experiences. Barry, we would like to know if you have a mentor in your life, or maybe one or two. Some people have more than one, depending on what they're involved in. But
Yeah.
there's always this one or two persons that, in a moment of doubt, when you need to make good decisions, when you feel like you're not too centered and you want to hear a voice that is, more or less level-headed and thinking straight, you go to someone, you call on someone, you pick up a phone, you send an email, you send a text, as the case might be. Is that a person that exists in your life, and who might they be?
Yeah, absolutely. So that person in my life is Jennifer Carrasco.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so I'm a part of a group called Apex, and
Okay.
she's my Apex coach, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been working with her for about 2 years now. And then outside of her, there's also Ryan Stewman,
Yeah.
who you may have heard of before. So
Mm-hmm.
those are primarily the two mentors that I have in my life. I've definitely picked up new mentors along the road that I
Yeah.
work with. But as far as who I talk to the most often, it would definitely be Jennifer Carrasco.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing, Barry. When you look at what is happening in the world, I mean, there's so many things that are not in the favor of mostly the average person. Um, Beside the war in Ukraine and all the information that we hear about people suffering in different parts of the world, if there's anything that you could change about our existence in this life that you think it should not be something we would have to deal with, what would it be for you?
Wow, that's interesting. So you know, uh, yeah, I think that obviously racism is a big issue still, a
Yeah,
very big
yeah,
issue
yeah, yeah.
that we're dealing with, and it's seemingly getting greater, right?
Hmm.
Which is profound to me considering how long we've dealt with it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that would probably be the one thing that I would change. I mean, I feel like it was not too long ago, in my own lifetime, I'm only 43, call it 15 to 20 years ago, that
Hmm.
people were getting along better.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like, I'm not entirely sure how or what's taken place in the past 20 years, but I feel like people have steadily grown apart, and bridging the gap between black, white, yellow, brown. That bridge is no longer there. I feel
Hmm.
like
Wow.
somehow, some way, it's
Yeah.
gone away. But when there's something that occurs, right? There's something will happen.
Hmm.
Call it COVID or something. You do see these communities come together, right? But
Yeah.
then when there's nothing going on, right? It's then they separate, and there's something happens, and so I really don't know how it's taken place. We could blame presidents. We could go down
Hmm.
that path if we want to. I'm
Yeah.
sure that would open up a whole nother conversation for
Yep.
our listeners.
Yeah,
But
it would. It would.
I'm not going to touch on that part.
Cool. 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 Yeah, I like that. Thanks for sharing, Barry.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to give advice to young people who were looking to get independently involved in business, what
Mhm.
are some of the things that you would say to them?
Well, actually, so what one thing that's really helped me in my life is
Hmm.
the fact that I haven't had to look hard for jobs.
Okay.
Um, and the reason is because there was a commitment that I made to myself that no matter where I went or who I was working with, I would always take the effort and time to get their name and their phone number.
Okay.
So my entire career, since before I was even making it a career, I was just making friends, right?
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
always getting everybody's name and phone number. So building this, call it a Rolodex of
Yeah.
people,
Hmm.
really a network of people that I could always, not leverage. I would always do things for them as well. But I think that really helps pave the path for the youth to ensure that getting a job and finding their first job
Hmm.
isn't hard for them, right? I
Okay.
think the second part of that, of course, becoming an entrepreneur right out of high school doesn't tend to be how things work. Normally people get their first or second job before they make that jump.
Right. Right.
Um, I think the other part of that though is that fear factor, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
being scared to take that jump from being, working a 9 to 5 and having that guaranteed paycheck, and then taking that jump to only depending upon yourself, right?
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that's the one thing that even myself, I'm guilty of it. I'll tell you that right now. I'm guilty of being scared to make that leap to being an entrepreneur. And it
Okay.
really was only until I had mentors in my life and that I could depend upon, to help, help me along the way, really.
Yeah.
Um, I would give a big shout out to the mentors out there, right? The people
Right.
that these kids look up to,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
having somebody to look up to and that to also is there to give you a shoulder to lean on when you make that jump is very, very important. Very important. So
Yeah.
that'd be my opinion
Advice.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
Okay.
advice on that for sure.
Okay. Great. Thanks for sharing, Barry. At Initiate You, the people that you hire, the people that support you, your support staff, and so on, like Andy and Echo, what kind of mindset do you expect from them in terms of that driven concept that you have shared with us?
Yeah. So Andy and Echo, really, it starts with customer service, right? The
Okay.
customer's always right, no
Yep.
matter what.
Mm-hmm.
As many times as I have to get on the phone with them and redirect how they think,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for lack of a better term,
Okay.
the customer is always right at first, but it sometimes becomes something where we need to get them to better understand what's taken place, right, and
Okay. Yeah.
educating them.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that that mindset that my staff has adapted to hasn't been easy for some, that's for sure,
Okay.
because some, when you're dealing in marketing is expensive, right? They pay a lot
Yeah.
of money for
Yeah.
advertising, right?
Yeah.
And so they want things to go exactly how how we've set them up, what the expectation is that we've given them. And if we haven't hit that expectation, then we're the first ones to blame, right?
Right.
But at the
Right.
end of the day, marketing and advertising is, it's a guessing game. It's almost like gambling, but what we've kind of worked on at Initiate You is doing our best to try to give them a comfort,
Mm-hmm.
call it a
Yeah.
safety
Yeah.
blanket
Yeah.
of knowing what to expect when you actually spend that marketing dollar with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, in addition to the people that you have been acquainted with, building up your network over the years, are there any new marketing trusts that you guys have in mind in terms of the reach of Initiate You?
Right. So with that is we currently have just bridged the gap with the solar community.
Mm-hmm.
We've just ran a campaign for a solar client that entrusted us with
Right.
their marketing and advertising dollars, and we had some success with that. And we're building upon that.
Okay.
We're hoping to really reach out to the solar community as well as, like I said, the roofing and the HVAC communities
Mm-hmm.
and realtors. Realtors, we've got some campaigns that are running for realtors right now. I know for realtors, it's very hard because of the market to get listings, right?
Yeah.
They're all looking for listings. There's major shortage of people selling their homes out there, but there's a lot of buyers.
Okay.
We've
Okay.
we've developed some campaigns that are assisting in getting these realtors actual listings. So
Right.
that's one thing that's really working for us right now, and that we're expanding on currently, especially since mortgage interest rates, they have increased dramatically in the past 60 days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that being the case, it's going to soften things up in the housing market,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully, more homes will become available for people that are looking to buy. So we're working a lot with the realtors.
All right. Do you get any speaking engagements, Barry, for people to invite you, say, to share your initiatives and how you become good marketers in terms of what you're involved in and your experience you've had over the years? Do you get any engagements with regards to that?
Yeah. Actually, it is something new for me,
Uh
um,
huh.
but I've been invited for two different things this year that I've accepted. They're not until the end of the year, so I
Okay.
get some
Okay.
time to warm up to it.
Yeah. There you go.
And get everything down pat. But yes,
Right.
I've been invited to speak for two friends of mine that are throwing events at the end of the year. So I'm excited about that, and challenging myself again. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds good. When you look back over your life, you're 43 now. Do you have the opportunity to say if probably you would have done things different? I'm not talking about regrets. I really personally don't believe in regrets. But sometimes in retrospect, you look back and you say, maybe I should have done this different. Maybe I should have said something different. Or maybe my thought process should have been different. Do you have any moments like that?
Yeah, no, I think yeah, I mean, I definitely have some moments that I think I would have been better if I made this decision sooner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of going
Yep.
back to that question that you had earlier about,
Mm-hmm.
what I would have, what I would give, what advice I'd give to children. And
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
that fear factor. I think I should have jumped into being an entrepreneur a lot earlier in my
Okay.
career.
Right.
I think that I had less responsibilities at a younger
Mm-hmm.
age,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I maybe screwed them off a little bit going out
Okay.
and with friends and doing things of that nature.
Right.
I wish I would have maybe taken things a little bit more serious when I was younger and just jumped into being an entrepreneur.
Wow. Okay. Great. Thanks for sharing, Barry. How do you balance the family time with your responsibilities at Initiate You? I mean, it sounds like a kind of cushy situation where you've traveled to so many different places. What
Right.
systems do you put in place to give you that opportunity so that you say sometimes you could work uh, on a beach with your phone and
Hmm.
be on top of things? But then
Yeah.
again, sometimes you need to be there, like kind of hands on. You get a call at 6 o'clock in the evening. How do you balance that between your personal time, time for family, and the responsibilities as CEO of Initiate You?
So the one thing that I've made a commitment to my staff is that we all have unlimited personal time off,
All
right?
right, all right.
So I think that has been very key in keeping my staff on board with covering for me. In this first quarter of the year, I've been
Hmm.
out traveling a lot this year. Just I had a book that was recently released,
Okay,
and so
congrats.
I've been. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Yes,
so
man.
so I think it's really just giving your employees that the know that they could just up and leave and go anywhere and that they would be covered. The one system that's in place is the fact that
Hmm.
we just never take time off at the same time, right?
Right. Yes,
Things need to
yes.
be, I call it
Yeah,
the
yeah.
6 P's. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
we need to prior plan when we're going to be away. That way that we have the coverage that's needed so that we can keep our customer service at the forefront of this
Uh-huh.
service that we provide.
Okay, great. I have a four P's. It's proper planning prevents poor performance.
There you
Eh,
go.
it works for me. It works for
There you
me.
go.
Great, great stuff, Barry. So tell me, are there any new business ventures that you have cited up that you've seen that you're thinking maybe it's just a small peanut for now, but it's an idea that's formulating in your mind or
Yeah.
any of your colleagues that you could probably look into?
Yeah. So I think down the road that I'll probably be in real estate, have my
Hmm.
own real estate office. I have
Okay.
a massive network of mortgage banks that I work with currently.
Hmm.
I'm building my network of realtors that I'm currently working with and helping them assist them with their advertising. So it
Right.
almost just seems very fitting that I would have my own real estate company because I would have both the lending side and of course the
Mm.
realtor
Yeah.
side
Yeah. Yeah.
already covered. So
Hmm.
it just seems like that's a good fit for me. It's not here now.
Hmm.
I hoped that it would be in the next 6 to 12 months, a more of a reality than it is currently.
Yeah. Things are kind of looking a bit, I wouldn't say negative, but looking a bit challenging with regards to the economy.
Hmm.
When you look at interest rates and what have you.
Yeah.
What about a plan B or plan C for Initiate You? Should things really go south in terms of the markets really plummeting and the negative effects of the war that is happening, all the sanctions that are being taken? What is it like for you guys in terms of that vision, that foresight?
Yeah. So, one thing, we talked about potentially working with the roofers. We've talked about working with HVAC, which I think is
Hmm.
another industry that, no matter what, if it's hot in your home, you probably won't be able to live, right?
Right,
So
right.
that's going to be an industry that I don't feel is going to be affected as much by interest rates increasing or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
With roofing, if your roof is broken, right? You have homeowners insurance that can pay for that, which
Okay.
therefore it's not coming out of your own pocket. So these kind of give some hope to if the world does kind of go upside down for Initiate You,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as well as the solar. There's a lot of benefits for doing the solar as well, right? So those are kind of the plan B, C, and D.
Yeah.
If I was to have to make some type of adjustment, quick
Okay.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Uh, other than that, so there's been some real estate opportunities that have come up, and in the last past year, I've invested in a handful of different projects that that I should be reaping the rewards for here in the upcoming future. So through all those things, I feel that I should be able to make it to the end of whatever is, however
Yeah.
long it
Yeah.
takes.
Yeah.
So just hoping I made all the right decisions.
Yeah. You can do that. You can hope. That's
That's right. But
important.
you never
That's
know until it's
necessary.
here.
Yeah. That's right, my friend. That's right. Besides those people you mentioned in terms of the mentoring and the group that you enjoy, are there any other persons that you'd like to give a positive shout out to whilst we're on the program?
Yeah. I definitely would probably shout out to my wife, Lindsay Gabster, who has been just very supportive in
Uh huh.
everything that I do. So obviously, she's the one that sees me every day and sees when things are bad and sees when things
Yeah.
are good.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
it's hard to keep a smile on the face all the time.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. It's
Her,
challenging.
as well as I've got some core friends that have helped mentor me to
Uh huh.
this level. Jim Pate, Ryan Marrier, and some other individuals who helped facilitate getting to me to the level that I'm at now. Of course, my grandfather has been very huge in my work ethic. My
Okay.
parents, those are probably round out the good few that probably need a shout out right now.
All right. Great. Great. So I'm just gonna try and have a little fun with you. Hope you don't mind.
Hmm.
Um, it's like a choice of two, and there may be some politics involved, but hey, it doesn't even give up who you support or whatever. It doesn't even matter. So the choice is peanut butter and jelly or ham and cheese.
That's a good one. Oh man, I'll go with ham and cheese because I had one today already.
That tells it. That tells it.
Yep,
Ah, Democrat or Republican?
Republican.
Why?
Why? Oh,
Yeah.
that's an interesting one. Well, um, I just feel that the Republicans have more of a capitalist ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And being an entrepreneur, it supported more of my initiative.
Okay.
Call it Initiate You.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Republican capitalist ideal really fits a little bit more to the how things work for the entrepreneur.
Okay.
Just to
Great.
keep it short, yeah.
Great. So that's it. Just a little fun there, just to end
Okay.
things out. We have come to the end of our very interesting and intriguing episode with Barry Gabster, founder and CEO of Initiate You. And he has shared some wonderful and valuable information with regards to what his company is doing, where they're going, and how they're dealing with things in this economic climate that we are in at the moment. So we're going to give Barry just a minute or so he can share with you his personal information and information on Initiate You, how you can make contact with him and get his services and even his speaking engagements, which he's a bit shy about, but I'm sure you can find out from him. So there you go,
All
Barry.
right.
The stage
Okay.
is
Yeah.
all
So
yours.
if to get a hold of us, we are at Initiate You. It's www.initiateu. That's a U at the end. INITIATEU, the letter U, .life. Or you can call us direct at 833-422-4227. My Instagram handle is at Male Guy Gabster, just like it sounds, MAILGUY, and then Gabster, like I talk too much, Male Guy Gabster. Or you can find me on Facebook, which is just simply my name, Barry Gabster, BARRY, last name Gabster, GABSTER. My personal email is Barry, BARRY, at initiateu.life. look forward to hearing from all y'all. If you have any just any simple question, I always answer emails, so feel free to reach out to me. Look forward to hearing from you.
Okay. Great. We thank you so much, Barry, for spending that valuable time you spent with us. And this is Andy of Andy's Personal Development, live in the breakout room, saying thanks to all those who have supported and followed the show. We want to remind you at this time to keep the love going, keep the faith going, keep the commitment, and always remember that this is the place where we are partnering you for health, happiness, and prosperity. The key three important aspects to life that everybody needs. So, until next time, this is Andy with my guest Barry saying so long, Godspeed, Shalom, Namaste.
See you later. Bye.
Bye for now.